and do stuff a little different today. I ain't gonna hold you too long. If you can't really tell, my voice, pollen is winning this round. You know what I'm saying? I've been trying to stick it out, man. Good old faithful Allegra, but I don't know, it ain't working. Today just ain't the day. But I wanted to get this content out, and I've been trying to go about a way to do this. Where I just do strictly audio. Should I do video? You know, so that was kind of what I was wrestling with. But for the most part, I think I got it now. And what I want to do, I want to say thank you to somebody. But before I say that, I want to say in life sometimes we do forget things that people have done for us, whether it be just life going on, whether it be lack of communication. Sometimes people enter and leave your life, so you forget about it, out of sight, out of mind. There's a bunch of different reasons why you can forget certain things. So I happen to be thinking about something like, I always say, I'm my mom's oldest child, so I feel like, 7 years old, happen to be the man of the house. You could forget a lot of things in that time span of how you came to be, how you dealt with certain things, how you were able to maneuver through certain situations, or why you didn't run into certain situations, or whatever have you. And a lot of times I always talk about it, how, since I'm a mom's oldest child, I had to go out and be the first one to do this or do that, or everything I did was like a reflection of how I thought people would treat my brother or my sister. So I felt like I couldn't, be a sucker outside, because then they would get treated like that. I couldn't do nothing crazy outside, because then it can come back on your brother and sister. So with that being said, I don't know what made me think of it. I just kept thinking. And for some reason, I don't know why. It was something Slim said, I think, and I just was thinking about how I fit that description. And I still do fit that description of whatever he was talking about. But in the midst of that, it dawned on me that, even though I don't have, technically speaking, an older brother, I do got older influences, whether it be a cousin, whether it be an uncle. But this one in particular I want to talk about, I don't think I ever really fully gave him his just due ever in life, now that I think about it. So with the platform I got now, and just with my voice, and just the fact that he's still alive, and that he can be able to see this and be able to talk about this and know how I feel about this and him, I said, why not give it a shot, So, but I want to talk about this guy named Russell, okay? Russell is about 10 years older than me, maybe 10, 8, 9, I don't know his full age. But that was probably the closest thing to a big brother that I ever had. And reason being is he kind of took me everywhere he went, I think a lot of situations that I did run into situations in the neighborhood and the environment we grew up in. I don't think you can maneuver your way around that, whether you got an older brother, sister, cousin, whatever. A certain situation going to rise, and you're going to have to face those. But there's a few of them I know I didn't run into, strictly because of my affiliations with him. I felt like he did everything he could to make sure that I wasn't never in harm's way if he can handle it, I never felt in danger when I was with him. I never felt like he ever pushed me to do anything negative. Never, ever. He smoked, he drank. He never told me to do these things. Actually, he always told me not to do it. All right? He always told me not to do it. And as cool as he was to me, like, he was the coolest person in the world to me for so long. And I remember I had braids because of him, A lot of people had braids because of Bow Wow or R. Kelly or whatever. I had braids because of him, I don't know if he even know that. I only wanted to grow my hair because he had his hair grown. He had braids. So, and not even aside from that, it's just my affiliation with him anyway came from someone else who I knew for a few years before I even met Russell, Russell didn't have to take me on at all. Like, that's another thing I have to thank him for. Like, he had no reason to want to take me on. Like, it's something he just did. I never played games. Like, I had PlayStation, PS2, Dreamcast. I had all these things. I never played games. I only played them because Russell played them. Like, I wanted the game system because I was a kid. But, like, one of them things, like, your big brother, like, I don't know. I don't know. I wanted the game, and, like, I never could play it well. I'd rather watch him play. I prefer to watch him play the game than play my own game half the times. NFL games, NBA games, I learned how to play all that through him. Sports, he helped me play sports. He was real good in football and basketball, honestly. But honestly, what it was about him, I think that kind of rubbed off on me, just influence wise, was the fact that I never saw him not be himself, regardless of who was around. He always was himself, and I think that's why I am how I am now. Don't get me wrong, I got a lot of ways from my dad that I'm starting to notice now. A lot of ways from my pops, but in regards to my influence of Russell, I think that with him, he never changed, no matter who he was around. Like, he wasn't gangster this day, goofy this day, or around this person and intellectual around this person. No, he was thorough. He was respected. He was funny, but he was very intellectual at all times. It was never like, I'm gonna be smart this day, but around these guys I'm gonna be dumb. Nah, he was always him, always. And I think in hindsight, I don't think I knew in that moment that I was respecting it, but I think over time, or just, I don't know, like, you know how they say, like, you gonna get as far as people around you for no reason? I think it's one of them things I just kind of gradually caught on to and just did it without really knowing, subconsciously. So, definitely gotta give praise to him there. But a lot of things, like, just a bunch of stuff he did, taking me shopping, taking me to GameStop, taking me here, taking me there. Like, I rarely heard the word no from him, and I'm pretty sure I asked for a lot. But he did everything he could do for me at all times, and it's just something I was thinking about. Like, yo, this is crazy. I never really gave him the praise or the thanks, and like, yo, thank you, because he didn't have to do none of the stuff he did. We weren't blood related. He had his own. He had a son. He had his own son, which he cared for, and I always admired that as well. Which is probably why I'm also a great dad as well, because Russell was one of the first very, 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 very good dads I've ever seen in my life. One of the first ones that I seen him with his kid every day, But yeah, shout out to Russell, man. Like, I can go on and on. I'm trying not to be too long, but like, I never thanked him for that. But a lot of situations that I could have encountered in that rough neighborhood we was in, a lot of times I didn't encounter because people knew that, oh, that's Russell, little man. You know what I'm saying? I might be somewhere, and I had to thank him for this because I might not know it. This might be something I never knew, because people would do stuff on the strength of you off your character alone. And with Russell's character, I'm pretty sure a lot of times I was places and I probably was being watched without knowing I was being watched. I was being looked over without knowing I was being looked over. So even though I might say, I'm the oldest, I had to go outside and do this, and I had to maneuver. A lot of times, honestly, I feel like I have to give thanks to him because of who he was and who I was to him. I'm pretty sure it was times that I got looked out after. I know for a fact I went to the store one day. I ain't gonna say no name, but this guy, a little older than me, but it was bigger. Like, he hit puberty already. And he was about to, it's like he was trying to fight me. I'm not even sure what he was trying to do, but somebody that Russell knew stopped like, he's gone now. This guy's dead now, so God bless the dead. But he stopped and said, "Hey, look, man, you can fuck with anybody out here, but don't fuck with this one." And he was dead serious. You know what I'm saying? And I remember after that day, like, the nigga just being cool with me, like, you know what I'm saying, like. But this is something that I'm not thinking about, because constantly I'm not thinking about it. But that happened because of my affiliation to Russell, But I don't want to be all day. Like I said, I want to give him a shout out to him. I want to thank him for everything he ever did for me. Cool story. One time he took me sneaker shopping for back to school. I only had $65. So for all y'all that got these mommy do nothing for me story, my mommy do nothing for me story, or these poverty stories, I had $65. $65 started freshman year to go to school. I had to get some shoes. Shout out to my mom. She did the best she could with what she had. So I'm not like shaming her at all. But I went to get some and Russell took me Knickerbocker. We go down there, we shop and whatever. And we not shopping because I only really buy one item. But we gonna get some shoes for school for the next day. And I remember he had picked some shoes out. He's like, get these. I'm like, nah, I ain't getting those. I'm a little older now. I ain't gonna lie. His influence was weighing off because I was a little older now. We went to like 6 different stores. I just couldn't find nothing. So finally, no, I'm gonna get them shoes Russell talking about. Went back there, got some navy blue and white Bo Jacksons. And I'd be damned if everybody ain't asked me what kind of shoes those was, and you should, trade shoes with me. And it was crazy because, like, I didn't want the shoes at first. Cause I'm like, I don't want no Bo Jackson. I don't know who the hell that was at the time. But like I said, having that big brother, that influence, like, he taught me so many things, whether it's from like even dressing, not how to dress, but like how to make do with what you got. Like he would tell me like, yo, if you got a fire shirt, you ain't gotta put no fire pants on. Put those pants that ain't name brand on. You got the name brand shoes, cool. I bet you got name brand pants. Throw your white tee on. Put it with them shoes, cool. Like it's stuff like that he taught me, or that he was showing me, that I probably just subconsciously I took it in, but I don't think I ever gave him praise or thanks for it. And I think it's dope that I was able to make that, you know, that thought process come about at some point, because he was very, very, very instrumental and very crucial in some very tough years of my life. And I remember my pops even like making, I guess my pops had a situation whatever where he told Russell don't talk to them no more. Like they wasn't never cool really, but for whatever reason, I don't want to get into that. He thought something and he told Russell like straight up, yo, don't fucking talk to me, leave me alone, you know what I'm saying? Go about your business, I'm gonna go my way, cool, whatever. My pops coming to my graduation. He never made none of my graduation, but my pops coming to my graduation, and I remember Russell like coming talking to me, take me downstairs, we got some pizza, something like that. And he was just talking to me, but he had nothing but good things to say on my pops, like nothing but good things, and just telling me like, you know, don't hold it against him, you know what I'm saying? It'd be other ones, you know what I'm saying? He working, he gotta do this, making excuses for him, whatever, but like really just all positivity, you know what I'm saying? Everything was positive. And I thought that was dope because he didn't have to do that, you know what I'm saying? Because my pops really jumped the gun in what he did to him. And I felt like he didn't let that, you know what I'm saying, be something that would hinder our relationship. And I did a lot of things too. I was young. I was very, very young with Dylan Russell. So I would do stuff all the time, like just be mean, like, you know, not let him take the game. And I'm not playing it. Like, I'm not playing this, but I won't let him take it. I don't know why, you know what I'm saying? But if he didn't know, he know now. Like he was definitely a amazing inspiration to me. Definitely a great guidance, you know what I'm saying? Like he took me all over from this side to Bushwick, that side to Bushwick. Just I don't know, like I could never, some things you can't repay, and that's something I don't know how I would ever repay him for that, because like I said, I never really expressed this to him until now. So if you listen to Russ, you watching this, I'm expressing this to you now. Like, you probably one of the reasons why I am how I am now, as far as like when I see young kids or young dudes I take a liking to, I'll do stuff for them on the strength, not because they asking me to, but just on the strength of like I want to have that imprint of somebody's life where like, but I don't necessarily want credit. That's just like I know you don't want credit because you never came to me and said, yo, you remember this, you remember this. I haven't spoken to Russell. I mean, I haven't seen Russell since about 2005. You know what I'm saying? But this is just a thought that's in my mind. It's 2 a.m. when I'm doing this right now, by the way. You know what I'm saying? So, definitely was a great influence, and I have to thank him, because I don't know, you never know what situations you would have encountered had he not put me, you know, up under his arm. Or it's been times, like I said, I was in the park sometimes where he would leave the park for a little seconds and people would talk crazy, then he get back. They don't talk crazy no more. But I never would tell them. You know what I'm saying? I was never no chump either. They ain't never chumped me, but the fact of the matter is just the fact that it was said. You know? But I remember one time, I'm gonna end this story. I remember one time Russell, he got mad at me one time, right? He really got mad at me. This is why I am how I am. He got mad at me. I think my sister had a situation on the street where this dude who was older than me at the time too, he was arguing with her, whatever the case may be. And I guess my demeanor and how I should have been wasn't up to par with Russell. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and he ain't talked me for a week. Like, he really walked past me. I would push him, touch him, you know. He ain't touch it. He ain't budge. I think I slapped him one time just to see if he was going to hit me, you know, real quick. Nothing. He ain't taught me nothing. He just told me, like, yo, I don't ever want to see somebody talk to you, that sister like that ever in your life again, and you with that demeanor. He said, the minute he said XYZ, you should have dove off on him. Like, you should have hit him. And, like, this is stuff that, you know, a big brother going to tell you. Like, he never tried to be my dad. He never tried to punish me. He never tried to play a father figure role. It was always like a big brother role. Like, that's what I imagine or what I envision a big brother doing. And subconsciously, like I said, I probably took on that because that's kind of how I dealt with my brother. Like, I'm not his dad. You know what I'm saying? He might look at me like that, but I'm not his dad. Never punished him. My punishment is my silence, because I know you want to talk to me. I know you think I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? I know you like my company. So I'm gonna take all that from you. You know, that's your punishment. And yeah, man, shout out to Russell, man. So if you're watching this, thank you, man. I love you. And yeah, Thank you.